Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're doing something a little different. We got a new game going. We got Dragon Age Origins, because Dragon Age the Veilguard dropped today. So we're we're gonna be playing both. Um, you may have noticed by the time this video airs, I've already streamed a little bit of the Veilguard. And so we're going to do that, but we're also going to play some Dragon Age Origins and go through Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition as a way to just have fun with the entire franchise the way I do with a lot of the other games. As you can see, I've played this game before. But we're going to start a new campaign, and we're gonna test myself here. I'm going to be angry at myself, is what I really mean. But we're going to play this in Nightmare mode, and we're going to play all of it. So, Origins, everything. This is a game where I kind of don't want to be on screen, because it's so good. And so is the Golden City blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world. Canticle of Theranoides 8:13. But yeah, this is.
History teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. It may even be too late, for I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
So I'm going to do something very different than, say, a lot of people would for this. I'm actually going to have us go through every origin option. And so to do so means we're going to do some quick characters for the ones I don't care about. The ones that are just to get us, let y'all enjoy the narrative of each origin, because I think each origin should have its chance to shine. Um, because they're all good. Um, and we're gonna start with the most bland, but still good. Uh, the human noble. And we're gonna make him a warrior. Uh, and I'll let y'all guess in the comments as the video goes. Like, I'll let y'all guess in the comments what I'm gonna end up playing, and I'll let it be the last one. So it's obviously not the human noble. Um, so, like I said, we're just gonna do quick play. This is the canonical, I guess, in my mind, version of events. Like, this is my personal canon of. I think all the origins in some way happen. Now, obviously, I don't think Duncan was there at all of them because as you play the games, you run into certain people, and we'll talk about that as this game goes. Obviously, we're playing Nightmare mode.
For generations, your family, the Kuzlans, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No, no. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True, though we both had less gray in our hair then, and we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pup, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad.
Another thing I'll share is that I am using some mods. You might be able to tell because it is a bit prettier than the game normally is. So I will go ahead and quickly list those off just to give credit where credit's due. Because let's see if I can find them. I also got to give credit to the people who make this game run because I got the Ultimate Edition and had to re-up that because I forgot I haven't had the Ultimate Edition on PC, and so I had to get that. And let's see, and Liliana's. I was trying to do Liliana's song for a little bit, and that kept crashing. We'll play that eventually when I think it makes sense. Um, but for modding, anyways, I do want to shout out. Um, for the mods I used the Dragon Age Redesign mod, which is from let's see, the creator is Dracomies, and of course I'll link all these down below. Um, I also use the uh, extra dog slot mod, which basically makes it to where where your Mabari Hound can be a fifth slot in the party because you can only have up to 4 members in the party normally, and your dog counts as one of those, so it's nice to have the Mabari Hound as an extra one, and that's from Duister. Um, and then we also have the no helmet hack 1.6 or 1_6, I should say, from Yo Online 2, which is also useful because this is a game where helmet invisibility is not a feature. They did not have that feature yet. So normally you just have your helmet on at all times, except for in like cutscenes. Cutscenes they actually were nice enough to take them out for you on the base game, but otherwise base game you always have your helmet, even if it's an ugly helmet. Which some of them, I also have the JB3 textures mod, which is just a resolution texture mod, as you can see. And that's Reative, uh, or Reative is the creator of that one. Um, Only a couple more, I think. These are all on Nexus mods. Um, oh, Lockbash is one as well. Yeah, Lockbash is the last one. Lockbash, which lets you do as it sounds if you don't have the ability to lockpick, if you're not a rogue, like our first character. Then it gives you the ability to pick via bashing, essentially, which a lot of RPGs nowadays do, and some even older. Like, weirdly enough, BioWare with Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, you could do that, but Dragon Age, they got rid of that feature. Uh, and that mod is from Zatmos. So, once again, I'll make sure to link all those down below for those of y'all who play Dragon Age and are interested in some mods to make your game a little prettier and more modernish while still keeping the love of what Dragon Age Origins is. But immediately, going back to main story, yes, Arl Howe. That is somebody that we see in the future, which is why I'm like, it makes sense to kind of play the human story, at least play the human noble, because he comes back and he is like he's important to the narrative later in the game. Um, Obviously, I won't reveal anything for anybody who has not watched gameplay of Dragon Age Origins before or played the game. Uh, we will let the story progress naturally. So let's see. What do we want to say? This is also before the characters could speak for themselves in Bioware games. So we have a bunch of text at the bottom, and I'm going to pick one, but I will read it before I pick it. Uh, we are going to be nice. And you, Arl Howe.
My daughter Delilah asked after you. Perhaps I should bring her next time.
I'd like that.
Good. She goes on about your prowess as a warrior. I think you have an admirer, young man.
At any rate, Pup, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle.
I'll do my best, Father.
Now, that's what I'd like to hear. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan.
Also, speaking of Arl Howe, for anybody with a nice ear about them, you may notice that that is Tim Curry.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Fooston.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope.
They're an order of great warriors.
They are the heroes of legend, who ended the Blights and saved us all. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow Wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about.
Is there a reason I shouldn't join them?
You did just finish saying that Grey Wardens are heroes, old friend.
I've not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone?
Of course.
In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me.
Where is Fergus?
Upstairs in his chambers, no doubt, spending some last moments with his wife and my grandson. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
Alright. So, let us get a move on. I am going to do something because this is going to be something that the game keeps doing every time. And if I don't stop it now. You know what? We'll leave it on for now. Until we get through all the ones, all of the starting scenarios.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Hello to you too, Sir Gilmore.
Pardon my manners, my lord. It's simply that I've been looking all over the castle for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave.
Did the dog get into the larder again?
No matter how the maids try to keep him out, he always finds a way in. You know these Mabari hounds. They listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
He knows better than to hurt anyone.
I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we?
Let me adjust some things here. To the kitchen then.
Just follow the yelling. When Nan's unhappy, she makes sure everyone knows it.
There we go. Alright, let's go get our dog. I believe this way.
Very well.
Look at that. I knew where to go.
That bloody mutt out of the larder.
But, mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves. I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you. Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down.
Excuse me? I could be very mean here, and she would deserve just a smidge for talking about my dog that way. But we're gonna not. I'm sorry he's bothering you, Nan.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
Alright. First combat. Coming up.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here?
Happy dog. Yeah. You trying to tell me something, boy?
It does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait, did you hear that?
And then we will go for one of my go-to names for dogs. Because that was one of my first dogs. Little Caleb lore there. Bam! Shield Smash! So some abilities are sustain abilities, like it's saying here. So we got one of those active. Then we got combat abilities. And this is real-time with pause, much like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are. And a lot of Bioware games are. It's kind of a Bioware standard for a lot of their games. I think Jade Empire is also that way, but that's not one I've played that much of. It is on my list. Mass Effect isn't really that. It's more of a action shooter. I mean, there's some sort of semi-pausing, but I wouldn't call it real-time with pause. And then you've got Knights of the Republic is real-time with pause. That is real-time with pause. Although Knights of the Republic is an interesting one where they give you a lot more space to plan out, because they give you 4 advanced like on your turns. They give you 4 turns to plan out, whereas Baldur's Gate and Dragon Age Origins go more for 1 turn gets planned, and then after that it's just auto attack, unless you pause and plan out like I am each time. But normally I wouldn't pause and plan out, but
Giant rats? It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all.
Look at all that blood. Certainly looks that way.
Those were rats from the Kokari Wilds. Best not to tell Nan. She's upset enough as it is. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Isle's men.
Alright. Yeah, normally I wouldn't pause every turn to plan out, but one, the rats died really quick, so I would have to pause and re-aim to switch to a new target. And two, why am I even picking up things? We're not sticking around long. We're just going through the story here.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
He's not so bad, Nan. Just a dog being a dog. We're not going to tell her. I've seen how she reacts to her us telling her. No matter what, she's still going to be sour about our dog.
Look at him now. Snuck into my larder once again and makes off like a free thief, he does.
Oh, mistress, there are rats in the larder. Big ones.
Oh, looks like the dog killed them.
Oh, I bet that dog led those
Oh,
rats into
they found
there
out
to begin
anyways.
with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work.
Okay.
That's right, you two. Quit standing about. Thank you again for your help. Now, if you'll just hold on a moment. Yes?
I'm in a...
Adney, get moving with those casts. And Kath, do you think you can serve that to the turn with dirt from the floor all over it?
Miserable old bat.
Old bat, am I? We've got to work double time on supper, sweep out the hearths, and no complaining.
This is new. I don't normally hear about this. Busy day?
Just keeping order. That's why your father keeps me on. The good maker knows I needn't take care of you anymore. Thank you for coming to your old nanny's rescue. That blasted hound is more trouble than he's worth. He is. Don't start with me. You've gotten all you're getting today. But what about you, my lord? Been keeping safe and well behaved, I hope?
Of course.
Good. I'm not exactly privy to your goings-on now that you're grown. Just an old nanny, never invited to your father's fancy meetings. Do you remember that bedtime tale I used to tell you, the dog that bit?
I remember it.
Good. Then you can start.
Let's see. Before our fathers came down from the mountains.
A warhound was born to the elder bitch of a tribal chief. They named him Hahaku and gave him everything. He grew up a fine, strong pup, destined to be the partner of the chief's eldest son.
And Hahaku grew prideful.
The young hound became arrogant, taking food from his kin and warning them, in the way of dogs, that the chief's family would punish them if they tried to attack him. Years passed, and the time for the chief's son to take a warhound came closer. Hahaku's pride swelled, and many of the people of the tribe came to the chief, quietly whispering of this dog's bullying. With each complaint, the chief saw only Hahaku's strength and pride, and sent his people away. But as his son grew, the chief watched more closely. The day might come when his boy's life would depend on this dog. If the humblest of his people would not trust Hahaku, how could he?
Hahaku's own misdeeds bit him.
When the day came, Hahaku sat proudly waiting to be called, but the old chief chose Hahaku's brother as his son's hound. Hahaku was shamed, but felt no remorse. So great was his rage that he darted across the fire pit and bit the chief's hand.
That was a mistake.
The chief and his son struck at Hahaku, cursing him. The hound ran into the village, seeking shelter in the tents and kennels. The other dogs snapped at him, and the tribe's people threw stones at him. Before the chief could reach him, the tribe had torn Hahaku apart. Now, what should you carry from this tale?
How you treat the least is remembered by the greatest.
True. Hahaku thought nothing of abusing the tribe and their dogs, but their complaints showed the chief he could not be trusted. But you're far too old now for an old woman to be reminding you to watch how you behave, hmm?
Yes, I am. Oh, no. Thank you for the story. It was thoughtful of you.
It's a story worth repeating.
We're gonna be...
That's all. Be off with you then. Tell your brother farewell before he rides off to war.
We're gonna be a wise man. I guess I accidentally clicked to talk to her, because I don't think that's a conversation I normally have after the larder. Usually it just goes straight to dealing with the rest of the larder stuff. We need to go this way, because we're going upstairs to find our brother.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my younger son. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled?
Yes, Mother. Nana's back to work as we speak.
You've always had a way with her. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Of course. It is good to see you again, my lady.
You're too kind, dear boy. Didn't I spend half the salon shamelessly flirting with you?
Right in front of your family, too.
You remember my son, Dyron. I believe you two sparred in the last tourney.
And you beat me handily, as I recall. It's good to see you again, my lord.
You're being modest. You fought very well.
And this is my lady-in-waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great honor, my lord. I have heard many wonderful things about you.
Don't look now, Eleanor. But I believe the girl has a crush on your lad.
Lady Landra.
Hush, Landra. You'll turn the poor thing scarlet.
Perhaps we should speak alone sometime, Iona.
As it pleases you, my lord.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your lordship.
Alright. Back to finding our brother.
Is there really going to be a war, Papa? Will you bring me back a sword?
That sword,
Sword,
Warren.
Warren.
And I'll get you the mightiest one I can find, I promise. I'll be back before you know it.
I wish victory was indeed so certain. My heart is disquiet.
Don't frighten the boy, love. I speak the truth. And here's my little brother to see me off. Now dry your eyes, love, and wish me well.
Yeah, if you've ever heard me say a sword instead of a sword, this is why. This scene in this game. Bring me back a sword! No darkspawn could harm Fergus.
He is as mortal as anyone, despite his refusal to believe.
Now, love, no need to be grim.
I bring a message. Father wants you to leave without him.
Then the Owl's men are delayed. You'd think his men were all walking backwards. Well, I'd better get underway. So many darkspawn to behead, so little time. Off we go then. I'll see you soon, my love.
I would hope, dear boy, that you plan to wait for us before taking your leave.
Be well, my son. I will pray for your safety every day you are gone.
A good shield would be more useful.
The Maker sustain and preserve us all. Watch over our sons, husbands and fathers, and bring them safely back to us.
And bring us some ale and wenches while you're at it. For the men, of course.
Fergus, you would say this in front of your mother?
What's a wench? Is that what you pull on to get the bucket out of the well?
A wench is a woman that pours the ale in a tavern, Oren. Or a woman who drinks a lot of ale.
Bryce, Maker's breath. I swear it's like living with a pack of small boys.
I'll miss you, mother dear. You'll take care of her, brother, won't you?
Mother can handle herself, always has. No. You can count on me. Yeah.
Oh, good. How thrilling to know I'm so well taken care of.
We'll be sincere.
Enough. Enough. Pup, you'll want to get an early night. You've much to do tomorrow.
Alright. Off to bed. Looks like we're only gonna get one origin per video. Because like I said, we're gonna go through all of them. What's wrong, boy? Is someone out there?
My lord, help me! The castle is under attack!
Oh no! We're under attack! Okay. Grab our shit. Oh, we already have our shit. Okay. We're just gonna grab our sword. I went ahead and use that, because we're not gonna get another chance. Well, we're not gonna get to use it right now. Alright. We're just gonna fight sword and shield with no armor! Haha! Really show how awesome we are in nightmare mode. Let's go. Let's go ahead and put our health potions here, because we're gonna need them. Yeah. You know what? This is a case where we're gonna need our armor, because we are playing on Nightmare. Having to smartly decide what stuff we want. There we go. I think we're good. This is everything we need. Let's take advantage of this. Go ahead and become Master of Combat. Take out these guys. Now, an interesting feature of this particular Dragon Age game, which is it's a common BioWare thing, but it's not in Inquisition. Inquisition kind of changes it, but in Origins, after combat, you just fully start to slowly re-heal, right? Oh.
Darling, I heard fighting outside and I feared the worst. Are you hurt?
Sorry, I always love the whenever he sees his mom in armor. It's hilarious. I'm fine. What's going on?
A scream woke me up. There were men in the hall, so I barred the door. Did you see their shields? Those are Howl's men. Why would they attack us?
He's betrayed father. He attacks while our troops are gone.
You don't think Howl's men were delayed? On purpose? That bastard. I'll cut his lying throat myself. Have you seen your father? He never came to bed.
No, I haven't. I was in my room.
We must find him.
Maybe you should stay here.
I most certainly will not. I am no Orlesian wallflower. Give me a sword and I'll use it. Now let's go.
Alright, Mom. Let's go. Alright. Nothing to give. Okay, so let's give Mom a short bow for now. And then let's get going, right? Also, we leveled up. I don't really care where our stats are going at the moment. Because this will not be our mainstay. This won't be our main, so I'm not worried too much about.
Perhaps we can salvage some things here, darling. Some of your father's belongings are in that trunk.
Hey, making use of one of our mods immediately. Cool. Alright. Alright, now we can give Mom a sword and shield. She mentioned that instead. Oh, no. We can give her a mace and shield. Make her kind of like a paladin or a cleric. And then let's go find our sister-in-law. Oh!
No! My little Oren! What manner of fiend slaughters innocents?
I actually knew about this. Sorry, audience, I knew this was happening. Don't look, Mother.
Oh, I'll look. I'll remember this day when Hal dies screaming like the dog he is. Oh, poor fuckers. Let's go, I don't want to see this.
That's why I said don't look! Okay, let's make sure nothing in here. Sorry, nephew and sister-in-law, I'm just making sure y'all didn't have anything worth taking. Because we're gonna get vengeance for y'all. Well, partially. We're not gonna get full vengeance. Sorry. Full vengeance requires us to go through the rest of the game as our human noble. Woo! Okay. So so far not bad for nightmare mode. Okay.
It has begun.
Can you hear the fighting? Hal's men must be everywhere.
What should we do?
The front gates. That's where your father must be.
Let's go.
If Hal's men are inside, they must already control the castle. We must use the servants' entry in the larder to escape. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Then let us be swift.
The castle has fallen! I'm getting out of here!
Don't be a coward. Stand and fight.
Yes, my lord! Here they come!
We're gonna fight for your honor. We all just bullied that one guy, but unfortunately that servant is not making it out of here, I think. Yeah. I encouraged him to fight, and he did not make it out of here. So that's nightmare mode for you, because normally they make it. Normally that is not somebody who dies easily. Okay, we're all ganging up on this soldier. Got it. Alright, that archer.
To battle! We fight for our home! There is hope yet!
It shall be done.
Make sure we have some stuff for this. because we still have to survive all this. Even if we aren't going beyond the prologue, we still gotta survive the prologue. Oh, they're going for the dog? Okay. Woo! Decap. Alright. I forgot to unlock this side quest, but we're gonna do it anyways real quick while we're here. We're gonna go get the family heirlooms.
We're getting close to the treasury. The Kuzlin family blade lies inside. Here, darling, take my key. That blade cannot fall into Hao's hands. It should sever his treacherous head.
It shall be done. It shall be done.
Take the family heirlooms. Ooh, yeah, some scale armor. That will help us. Family chest, which has our sword and shield, which I don't think I can use. Yeah, cannot use. I do not have enough strength. So that's a long build situation. We are not going to get to see the outcome of that, but we do get a family shield, guard shield still. So we still get our family crest on it. There we go. So not entirely a loss there on looking like part of the family. Through the door. That's right. I will say, this is essentially an upgrade from, and I haven't played the game to completion, but BioWare's other D&D title that's not Baldur's Gate. And yes, this is a tactical view. I had to switch to that. Their other D&D game, though, that's not Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights, which is essentially like out of the comparisons, it's much closer to this. It's a game that came out much closer to this, and also their last D&D title before they didn't have the license anymore. I think Atari got it afterwards, because then Atari had Obsidian do Neverwinter Nights too. Okay, this is gonna be messy. We need to decide who we're cleaning up carefully. Okay, yep. Get messy. We're starting to see the messiness. Okay. We need to take off the archer and the mage. Okay, mage gone. That should simplify the combat. As usual, you want to get your magic users and your ranged attacks killed first if you are in a bad position in a game like this. Also, drink some more of these. But yeah, I mean, the major different.
Go, man the gate. Keep those bastards out as long as you can. Your ladyship, my lord, you're both alive. I was certain Hal's men had gotten through.
They did get through.
They killed Oriana and Oren. I can't believe. Are you injured?
Don't worry about me, your ladyship. Thank the Maker you two are unharmed. When I realized what was happening, it was all I could do to shut the gates. But they won't keep Hal's men out long. If you've another way out of the castle, use it quickly.
We need to find Father.
When I last saw the Terran, he'd been badly wounded. I urged him not to go, but he was determined to find you. He went towards the kitchen. I believe he thought to find you at the servants' exit in the larder.
Bless you, Sir Gilmore. Maker watch over you.
Maker, watch over us all.
But the major difference between Neverwinter Nights in this is that you can control your party members, and you can have more than one extra companion. Because Neverwinter Nights, you essentially get one hireling that you get to bring with you in single player mode, because you can play it in multiplayer, much like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Whereas this, you don't get multiplayer. It's just single player, which is interesting for BioWare at this time, right? Because like, for the most part, they had done multiplayer CRPGs that have really good single player storylines. And pretty good companions, with Neverwinter Nights thinking, in my opinion, I think Neverwinter Nights falls the furthest away from their really well-written companions in BioWare terms, with Baldur's Gate 2 being the start of that trend. And then Neverwinter Nights kind of dropping it, and then they kind of bring it back with this. How are you doing, guard? Okay. We'll help the dog then. And then we'll help you. And then we'll help my ma. Which, that's a higher, yeah. More dangerous set of opponent. Hence the yellow. He resisted my bash, in fact. Oh, God! He didn't do a lot of damage, but it still hurt. Get out of here.
It has begun.
There's Papa.
There, you both are. I was
Bryce.
wondering when you would get here.
Maker's blood, what's happening? You're bleeding.
Hal's men found me first. Almost did me in right there.
Why is Hal doing this?
He can't get away with this. The king will...
Bryce, we must get you out of here.
I won't survive the standing, I think.
That's not true. You'll be fine.
My boy. If only Will could make it so.
Once Hal's men break through the gate, they will find us. We must go.
Someone must reach Fergus. Tell him what has happened.
And take vengeance.
Yes. Vengeance.
Bryce, no. The servant's passage is right here. We can flee together, find you healing magic.
The castle is surrounded. I cannot make it.
I'm afraid the turn is correct. House men have not yet discovered this exit, but they surround the castle. Getting past will be difficult.
You are Duncan, then? The Grey Warden?
Yes, your ladyship. The turn and I tried to reach you sooner.
My youngest son helped me get here. Maker be praised.
I am not surprised.
Are you going to help us, Duncan?
Whatever is to be done now, it must be quick. They are coming.
Duncan, you are under no obligation to me, but I beg you, take my wife and son to safety.
I will, your lordship, but I fear I must ask for something in return.
Anything.
What is happening here pales in comparison to the evil now loose in this world. I came to your castle seeking a recruit. The Darkspawn threat demands that I leave with one.
I understand.
I will say, this feels like Duncan is taking advantage of this situation. Duncan is absolutely, in my opinion, a great guy who, in this case, does not shine a great light with what he's doing, because, yeah, he's recruiting me to be a Grey Warden, and taking advantage of the fact that, haha, you're dying, what are you gonna do about it? But, one, for the greater good. Two, two, other origins will show us that there are situations where the main character, our character, is in a bad situation that, if not for Duncan offering this, would get worse. And usually he does it just out of the case of, hey, you're pretty strong. I think you could be a Grey Warden. So, whereas this one is, hey, you're pretty strong, I think you could be a Grey Warden, but also your dad won't let you. But now, he might. So, I give Duncan... I excuse this one. I excuse this one. But yeah, are you talking about me?
You fought your way to me through Howe's men. I think the Maker's intention is clear. I will take the Tyrna and your son to Ostagar to tell Fergus and the king what happened. Then, your son joins the Grey Wardens.
So long as justice comes to Howe. I agree.
Then I offer you a place within the Grey Wardens. Fight with us.
I accept your offer.
We must leave quickly then.
Bryce, are you sure?
Our son will not die of Howe's treachery. He will live and make his mark on the world.
Darling, go with Duncan. You have a better chance to escape without me.
Eleanor.
Hush, Bryce. I'll kill every bastard that comes through that door to buy them time. But I won't abandon you.
Mother, are you sure you want to do this?
My place is with your father. At his side to death and beyond.
I'm just so sorry it's come to this, my love.
We had a good life and did all we could. It's up to our children now.
Then go, pup. Warn your brother. You know that we love you both. You do us proud.
They've broken through the gates. We must go now.
Goodbye, darling.
Alright. That is it for that section. So we will... And I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm actually making sure y'all can't see what happens next. If the game will stop fighting me. So, yeah, there we go. I've stopped it from letting y'all see what happens next. Because we're going to play the other Origins before we do. So thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you really like our content, check out the Patreon, which is linked down below, where you can watch our content before it's released publicly on YouTube. Also, be sure to check out our Discord, which is also linked down below, where you can become a part of our community. And I will see you all next time, where we're going to just keep playing more of these Origins. Feel free to comment down below what Origin you think I'm going to play next, and which one you think is going to be our main character by the end of this, if you know the different Origins. Some options, if you don't, we have our mage, which can be human, elf, or, well, can be human or elf, which you have human, elf, dwarf as your race options. So mage can be any of those, so just say mage if you think I'm going to be the mage. We also have our Dalish elf, which are a type of elf who live out in the woods and are not part of the cities, part of the city-states of like Ferelden and all that of the nation of Ferelden and kind in the kingdom of Ferelden, and kind of are separated because of history, which when we play the Dalish elf background you will learn about why the Dalish elves exist as their own society. But then you have the city elves who live in poverty in alienages within the greater cities, and that's another background. In the case of that one, we live in like the capital city at the start. Then another one is is a commoner dwarf. Dwarves cannot be mages, so that's why. But you have your commoner dwarf who lives in kind of squalor within the lower uh, parts of the dwarven kingdom of Orzammar, which is like the main kingdom that they mentioned at the beginning of the game within uh, Dragon Age, within Ferelden. Um, and the commoner dwarves are kind of like they have the dwarves have a caste system, and so you're in the lowest caste as a commoner dwarf. But then you also have the noble dwarf background, which you start as the king's son of Orzammar, his middle son. So out of three, and so those are your backgrounds. So whichever one you think I'm gonna play next, leave down below. Whichever one you think is gonna be our main character, leave down below. And I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye.